Good morning, viewers. Hope you're all doing great. Welcome to Kings TV, and this is the Morning Zoo Show, your favorite morning show where we make sense of the news that actually matters to you, diving deep into social matters, political status, economic status, and without forgetting the world of sports. So join me as we flip through these pages together. And don't forget, the best way to get to know what's happening in the world, in your country, your county, and also in your neighborhood is just to read the newspapers. My name is Beatrice Awar, and don't forget to follow us on our social handles at Facebook Kings TV, YouTube Kings Fraternity, and TikTok Kings TV _13. Let's get into it. Welcome. Okay, today I have daily newspapers, and we have the Daily Nation, the Standards, and also I have the Star, Taifa Leo on the internet. So I prefer we start with the Standards, which on the cover page they've written the problem. Incompetence as the city flood, death toll nears 30, which is the largest share of more than 50 fatalities nationwide. Urban development expert says Nairobi recurring disaster is driven less by extreme weather than by failed leadership at City Hall. So I think the Standard has just covered about the flood, a disaster that we're facing right now in the country, more so in Nairobi, Homa Bay, Nakuru. We've seen on Friday the flood really caused disasters whereby many cars were taken away, lives were taken away. And as you can see here, we can see the face of Sakaja, and it's the story is on page 6 and 7. Open it, and let me just look at the cover page first. They said Governor Johnson Sakaja has sought to distance himself from the crisis, blaming factors beyond the county government's control. But experts point instead of weak planning, poor enforcement, and development rules and corruption brought about by policy direction rather than nature. So Johnson Sakaja has said he's not to be blamed for this. Though it's not, let's say he's not to be blamed, but this is a natural disaster. But you've been told that corruption brought by policy direction rather than nature. So here we've been told that 28 confirmed death in Nairobi as at Sunday evening, 30 plus people rescued alive, 700 plus homes and structure damaged or destroyed, 800 plus households displaced, 70 plus vehicles damaged or swept away. Let's look at the story here on page 6 and 7. They say that Nairobi counts cost of floods, and Sakaja says he's not responsible. So we're just asking ourselves, who is to be blamed? They said with at least 28 people are confirmed dead, city residents are demanding answers. Governor Johnson Sakaja has come under intense pressure to take responsibility. This is a natural disaster, but the flood taking away people's lives, and the county government, we yet to see what action they take about it, because what if the rain rains again the same way it did on Friday? Will we also blame the nature? But I think we should take precautions and see how to avoid. Though nature happens, it's something that you cannot avoid. Maybe flood, like flood, we have buildings being taken away, households, businesses, these are laws. And as you can see here on page 6, businessmen are trying to rescue their properties, but this won't help because the loss has already happened, and if it has happened, it has happened. And we've been told here, I am not raising. This is a quote of Johnson Sakaja. He's saying, I'm not resigning. I am working, and every day I do my best, given the limitations we have as a city. Of course, the expectations are extremely high and I understand them, but I genuinely put myself out there to solve the problem with what I have. So he's saying that he won't resign, despite people saying that he should resign because he's not working as expected, being the governor of Nairobi. Experts, that's on page 7, they said experts who are leadership planning thrillers behind Nairobi perennial flooding crisis. And you know, many families, they are still at various hospitals looking for, searching for their loved ones, some who have found their loved ones and others who have not yet been found. These are precautions to take, and we know flood is not something, this is not the first time flood is happening in Kenya. And I think the county, the government should look on how to prevent for such disaster in the future, because if this happens again, if this happens again, I think we will be facing another crisis that our country will also be having very much failures and laws in the country. Look on another story here. That's on page 2 in the same standards. Teachers cry fall as Sha glitches leaves many with huge bills to pay. So, as you know, teachers have been crying out to the Sha, saying that when they go to the hospitals, Sha only pays half of their bills, and some even don't get the Sha don't cover their health bills. So tutors have reported difficulties accessing treatment under the Sha platform. There are cases where hospitals decline to admit them or demand payments beforehand. There are cases where hospitals decline to admit them, demand payment beforehand. So imagine you have the Sha coverage, you have the Sha, you've registered for Sha, when you go to the hospital for treatment, the hospital asks you to pay first before you get treated, and yet Sha won't cover for the bills. So that's why teachers are here outside crying for Sha glitches, leaving them with huge bills to pay. We've been told that 20 shillings billion teachers medical insurance scheme that was transferred from a private provider to the Social Health Authority. 20 billion shillings of teachers medical insurance scheme that was transferred from a private provider to Social Health Authority. So we're just asking ourselves, where did these 20 billion shillings go to? And yet when they go to the hospitals for health, for treatment, they're being asked to pay first. And then when they ask Sha to pay, they get half of payment, or they don't get any payment. On the other side, on another story, I think those are the top trending stories that we can see here on the standards. Let me just look at the Daily Nation, what the Daily Nation has for us today. The Daily Nation on the cover page, it's written 50 billion shillings Sha rip-off. So I think this is also the story of Sha still. We've been told that road hospitals claim doctors conducted open heart surgeries on the same patient 4 times in one day. Other reported one mother had delivered 10 babies on different dates within the same year. Such fake claims were fed multiple times. In total, 50 billion shillings, suspicious payments in 1 year have been exposed by editorial General Nancy Gadungu following scrutiny of the Social Health Insurance Fund, which is run by the Social Health Authority. That's on page 7 of the Daily Nation. So this is so funny. Imagine having one woman having delivered 10 babies and one patient, they've written mother had delivered 10 babies on different dates within the same year. Such fake claims were filed multiple times, in total of 50 billion shillings. So I don't think if this is something to look at that first. Like, how can one patient have 10 babies repeatedly? Like a mother, one woman delivering 10 babies isn't even making sense. And how did Sha come to pay for bills for the same woman? Did the woman, like, we just asking ourselves, does the woman have different IDs? Because I think if Sha has paid for the first delivery, then paying for the second delivery until 10th delivery, they should be in a position to ask themselves, how is it even possible? They've been told that suspect claims of 26.8 billion shillings, payment for claims not backed by records to prove or authenticity, 7.3 billion shillings wired to hospitals for services not authorized under SHIF, 3.3 billion shillings amount missing from 7.3 billion shillings transferred from SHIF to SHA, 1.4 billion overpayment due to consolidations of service records. So SHA has been having a lot of scandals since it was created in the year 2023-2024. That was when SHA was transferred from NHIF due to corruption claims. And since SHA came, it has faced a lot of scandals from ghost hospitals, ghost patients, and overpaid bills for one patient. Like right now, we're being told that one patient had 4 heart surgeries. Like, how can one patient have 4 surgeries? But to the SHA authority, I think they should look into it, because here on page 7, being told that queries as facilities in SHA probe linked to regulatory bodies. Nearly half of 45 medical centers flagged by investigators in 2025 were under the watch of Pharmacy and Poison Board. So SHA has been facing a lot of scandals. We've been told that right now there are hospitals which have no license, and yet there's another day here that a patient went to have his teeth removed, and when he went and had his teeth removed, but the doctor who did it was a fake doctor, which led to his death. And yet we've been told that many hospitals has no license, and the government is just there without any action. We expect action from them, because health is most important. Without health, the country has no future. Auditor General exposes 50 billion shillings SHA report, of which I've read about it. For instance, a patient underwent an open heart surgery procedure 4 times in a day, and all the claims were paid. So finally, how does the system even pay for one patient 4 times a day for the same surgery, heart surgery? I know a heart surgery only takes, it's only done once for a patient, unless the patient has more than one heart, because one heart only needs one surgery. That's all we know. Though we don't have much knowledge about the surgery, but it's something that it's not making sense about SHA. So SHIF reported transferring 7.3 billion shillings to SHA, but the letter says it's not received 3.9 billion shillings. Where did the 3.9 million shillings go to? So the Social Health Authority CEO Mercy Mwangi and the Director of Funds and Finance Government, they have to look upon the system, because health is really important to us as citizens. So on the same page of the Daily Nation, on the upper here, it's written Sifuna team to boycott Ruto Oguru's MPs meeting. So that's on politics. But I think before I go to politics, here down, there is Alex Kavila, Suleiman Ino, Philip Mondi, Nicholas Kialo, and Paul Juma. These are people who were taken away by floods, and it's written, left to die in sudden downpour from hell. Alex Kavila, a 39-year-old father, and of three, worked as a painter at the Gordon area in downtown Nairobi. Like many others caught up in the sudden downpour last Friday, Kavila rushed to seek shelter inside a nearby building. He never made it out alive. Yesterday, his brother joined other grieving families at the Nairobi funeral home, amid questions about the government's inaction that led to the deluge that killed at least 42 people nationwide. So, our condolences to the people who have lost their beloved ones, and I think Paul Juma's body has not yet been found. Philip Obondi's and Suleiman, I think these bodies are not yet been found, but we're hoping that their families get to meet them and plan for their burials. That's on page 2 and 3. That's them on flood. Friends, families mourn the dead, search for the missing, and hope that they find their beloved. And the government also look on the precautions to avoid such disaster in future or for the next rainy season. So on the other side here, transport. NTSA instant fines. Here is all you need to know about penalties. The government has the motorists captured on CCTV cameras violating traffic rules got alert on the fines without power of the National Transport and Safety Authority rolling out its new enforcement system with detailed the various penalties. So the government has stated some penalties to the motorists who may have violated the road rules. So that's on page 8. That's on page 8 on the Daily Nation. But we're just hoping that the motorists adhere to the rules that have been put on action. We've been told that motorists protest instant traffic justice. More than 1,000 smart cameras will be deployed across Kenyan roads. So to those who like overtaking, those who like overspeeding, are used to overspeeding, there will be a penalty for you guys if you do so. We've been told that motorists exceeding the limit by 1.1 to 5 kilometers per hour receive a warning. Those exceeding the limit by 6 to 10 kilometers per hour are financed 500 shillings, while drivers going 11 to 15 kilometers above the limit face 3,000 penalty. 16 to 20 kilometers per hour are fined 10,000, making it one of the most heavily penalized offense. Traffic offenses are criminal in nature, automatic enforced, presumed guilt without considering the right to a fair hearing. So if you don't adhere to the rules that are on the road or the traffic right now, you just have to pay for the penalties. So let's go to politics now. Sifuna team to boycott route of Uhuru MP's meeting. We've been told that lawmakers allied to the Linda Wananchi faction of ODM are vowed to snub today's meeting of MPs from ruling coalition and Orange Party. That's on page 10. As you know, today, Uhuru and, not Uhuru, the coalition between Raila and the broad-based government today, they are going to look at how here on the Daily Nation we told that the law, on page 10 we told that the laws makers city alleged non-implementation implementation of agenda item, including the stifling of opposition politics. So Sifuna's team has said that they won't join it because they will boycott the Rutoguru MP's meeting. They won't join the meeting. MPs described meeting as choreographed public relations stunt aimed at rallying them to endorse a report on implementation of 10-point agenda signed in March 2025. So we don't know whether the 10-point agendas have been implemented yet, but let's see. We're just hoping to see at how the meeting will go and the things that we put in place about the broad-based government. Looking on another story here on the Daily Nation. Funding delays, that's on page 16. Funding delays leave many schools drowning in debt. School principals now say they will struggle to administer end-of-term examination as well as meeting other needs. As you know, education has been facing a lot of problems since last year to date, and we've been told 22,244. The amount of shillings each senior school learner is entitled to pay per year, disturbed in 3 tranches at 50 to 30 and 20% owed by a senior school principal in Mombasa. But we hope that the education will come up to it and see how to solve it. That's all we have on the Daily Nation. But on the transport system, or on the transport penalty, we just hope that all these will help to reduce the accidents that we've been facing on the roads from cars, motorists, pedestrians, and we hope for the best because we're always looking for the solution to every problem. We hope this will help. And let's not corruption work on this, because we've been seeing, traffic police taking bribes from the drivers and just leaving them to go against the road rules. And before I go to the next newspaper, and I'd just like to give a chance to our reporter on the field, Cynthia Nyambura, and I hope wherever you are, she went to collect some views on about the 50 billion shillings Sha rip-off, just to hear the views of the residents wherever she went about the Sha scandals. Cynthia, wherever you are, I hope you're listening, and just to see what the residents are saying about the headline.
Asante sana Beatrice Awol na kupokea vyema nikiwa kaunti ya Kiambu, ambapo nimeweza kuzungumza na wakazi wa Kiambu kuhusu mpangilio mpya wa Sha. Beatrice, kama unavyojua kwa mpangilio huu wa Sha kwa tanzia uanze umekuwa na matatizo mengi, wengi wakisema kuwa Sha inafanya kazi, wengine wakisema Sha haisaidii. Wakati huo tunaona kwamba bilioni 50 zimeweza kupotelea katika sekta ya afya, na maswali mengi ya wakazi wa Kiambu ama wakazi wa Kenya wanauliza ni nani ambaye ataweza kuokoa sekta ya afya. Na nikinukuu maneno ya wakazi wa Kiambu, wengi wamesema kuwa NHIF ilikuwa ikiweza kuwasaidia ukilinganisha na Sha. Beatrice Awol, kama unavyojua wakati huu ni wa mvua na mafuriko yamekuwa yakibeba makazi na biashara za watu wengi, na kwa ni wakati wa mvua, baridi ni nyingi na wengi wanasema kuwa wanahitaji matibabu. Lakini tukiangalia kwenye sekta ya afya tunapata kuwa Sha haisaidii, na tena tunapata kwamba hizo bilioni 50 tena tunapata kuwa kuna siasa katika sekta ya afya. Iwapo Beatrice Awol una swali unaweza kuniuliza ili niendelee kuzungumza ama kukita kambi ili niweze kuleta mengi kuhusiana na mpangilio huu mpya wa Sha. Nikiripotia runinga ya Kings, mie nafahamika kama Cynthia Nyambura.
thank you for that, and we're just hoping that the government will listen to the cries and the opinions of the citizens. So let's kick off to Taifa Leo. Taifa Leo today has said mwanzo wa talaka. Kundi la Sifuna limeapa kususia mkutano wa wabunge wa UDA na ODM leo. I think that also you've seen it on the Daily Nation. Lakini I think they've written here, hatua ya vuguvugu la Linda Mwananchi kususia mkutano wa wabunge wa UDA na ODM leo inaweka kazi wazi huku ukiashiria mwanzo wa utengano wa mirengo miwili ndani ya ODM. Hiyo inapatikana kurasa wa pili, and we've seen that ODM has separated right now. We have the Sifuna team and the Oburu team, and we also have the broad-based, which the Oburu team has collided with the broad-based, and they say they are saying that they want power, and the power they want is the Kindiki's seat. So we'll just see, but Sifuna has already said that he won't join the meeting because the broad-based government has not done whatever they agreed, whatever they signed to do together has not been implemented yet. So he's not there, he won't attend the meeting. But on the same time, leo we've been told that pambano kali la Kindiki na Gachagua mlimani, vita vya kudhibiti mlima wa Kenya vyashika kasi huku naibu rais akimkemea mtangulizi wake. We've seen them on the rallies, on the roads, we've seen them on the roads, rallies everywhere, when they just say bad things about each other. They talk to each other badly, but let's see. We're just hoping for the best, that everything happens, it happens for a reason, and we are used to politicians having such conflicts to each other, and we just hope that we'll just bring for our country to have a peaceful and good leaders. After all, mafuriko walikufa kwa mapunguza ya serikali. People are claiming that the serikali is the one responsible for people dying on the floods. Kesi ya kifo cha Walibora yang'oa nanga. Watu mbalimbali walifika mbele ya mahakama kueleza kilichotokea siku ya mauti ya profesa. But we're just hoping that the case goes well, and I think that's all we have on Taifa Leo. And on the sports, mwana wa siri wa Maradona akamatwa, pata ukondo wa udaku wa sporti, ubashiri ratiba. To those who love sports, I think you just go and look on, you get more on sports or here at Kings TV with our sports reporter Felix. Sakata just still on Sha, and on the Star we've been told that exposed scandals of civil servants landing top jobs with fake papers. I think this is not the first time we are hearing about scandals and civil servants having fake documents, and the Ruto quiet strategy to outfox opposition 2027. We have Kithure Kindiki, Geoffrey Ruka, Aden Duale, and on the scandals of civil servants landing on top jobs, I think this is something that should look at, because we have many people with real documents, landing people in Kenya, but they don't have any job, and yet those top jobs and having people with fake documents should be looked at, and we should look for the solution of that. And that's all we had for today. That's all we had for today. I've been your host, which is our. Till next time.